Hello, my name is Tony Ellis, and I will be connecting two books, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green and 1984 by George Orwell. In the first book, Asa is our main character. She's a 16-year-old girl who lives in Indianapolis and struggles with OCD and anxiety disorder. The book follows her as she develops romantic relationships and struggles to keep her OCD at bay and keep a normal life with her obsessive and ruminating thoughts. In the book, there is also a mysterious disappearance of local town billionaire Russell Pickett. Asa and her friend Daisy decide to try to investigate to get the $100,000 reward money they're offering with any information regarding his disappearance. Over the course of the book, Asa develops a romantic relationship with the billionaire's son, Davis Pickett. They become very close. You get to see how her OCD and anxiety develops and manifests in other social situations and how she learns to cope with it throughout the book. Asa and Daisy happen upon Russell Pickett's dead body in an unfinished drainage tunnel underneath the city, and he is in fact dead, and you see how Asa helps Davis grapple with his father's death, and you also see how Davis helps Asa grapple with her OCD and her anxiety and really help her along with her disorders. The book ends with her not overcoming her OCD and anxiety, but she is much more able to manage her symptoms better than in the beginning of the book. In 1984, it follows main character Winston Smith, who lives in an oppressive government called Oceania. The government is called the Party, and it scrutinizes all human action and even human thoughts. Winston struggles in the society to express his individuality. He does this by keeping a forbidden journal, also developing a forbidden love with a romantic relationship with a girl named Julia. They also declare their lost my train of thought, their allegiance against the Party and to each other. They also confide in the book in a man named O'Brien, who they believe is on their side, and he turns out to be a double agent and turns them in. They both get tortured more or less into insanity. They lose, they're robbed of their free will, their privacy, their truth, their individuality, their love. It's very sad, and they, after being tortured, they leave completely different people, and you kind of lose two great characters. The connections I made between the two books is in Turtles All the Way Down, Azel battles with the thoughts in her head, while Winston battles with being able to even think his own thoughts. I thought that was a very interesting difference, but also similarity. Although Asa does not overcome her OCD and anxiety, she learns to manage her symptoms better by the end of the book, although obviously Winston suffers a different fate. Both are obviously very anxious for different reasons. Winston and Asa, the second connection I made is that they are constantly fighting to make their circumstances better. Although there's much pain and suffering in both of their stories, they, for a short period of time, find love and happiness, Winston with Julia and Asa with Davis. They both develop romantic relationships and find a short period of happiness, even if they don't continue those relationships in the end of the book. They do have a short snippet of that. Another connection I made is they're both looking for answers and investigating a thing bigger than themselves. Winston, obviously, his impressive government. Asa, the disappearance of the billionaire. And that's another connection I made. But two potentially controversial themes I found. In 1984, most likely the communist themes used. Also, both books, the use of dark and heavy topics such as mental illness in Turtles All the Way Down, loss of humanity in 1984, and experiences with death in Turtles All the Way Down, and also torture and kind of a depressing ending in 1984. My three collaborative instructional teaching methods would be, obviously a Venn diagram would be very helpful to make all the connections. I'm sure there's more that I didn't even make. I think these books are both very interesting because they complement each other with also being two completely different stories set in completely different time periods. I also think having students read maybe a chapter of each throughout the course and making the connections of how each character battled with their mental illness or battled with their oppressive governments, how they dealt with their circumstances. I think would be a very helpful teaching tool too. And I think reading the two in conjunction will also help students get more out of each book, reading them together rather than reading them apart. That, I think, is all I have. I hope this wasn't too awkward. I'm not used to recording myself and talking, so hope I also talked slow enough and didn't say or like too much. Thank you for this opportunity. Bye.